Hi guys, welcome back to another French video. Today we will be going over le présent, or how we say it in English, present tense. So let's get started. When to use present tense. The present tense in French is much like the present tense in English. It's used for actions that are happening in the present. For example, actions that are currently happening as a speaker speaks. Further, the present tense can be used for habitual actions. Now let's get started off with the basics as we always do in our videos. As once we get those down, we'll be able to conjugate essentially any regular verb that comes our way for present tense. So let's get started with our ER endings, as every verb in French has either an ER ending, IR ending, or RE ending. So first let's start off with ER, as the ending for each subject is S, ONS, Z, and NT. Higher endings ES, ES, ET, ESS, ONS, ESS, Z, ESS, NT. For RE verbs SS, nothing, so rien, ONS, Z, and NT. So I highly recommend you guys memorize this part, as the endings are really essential to when conjugating, and pay attention to what the subject is for each ending of the verb. So let's get started with actual application questions, as we have to see how they're actually applied to our everyday verbs. So chercher, for example, is an ER verb, and general rules what I use is just taking out the ER at the end of every verb. So we would just take out the ER and just plug in our ending that we have here. So for example, for the first one, je is the subject. We know the ending for je for ER verbs is E. So we would just take out the ER and just plug in E right here. For two, same thing. We would just take out the ER, put the ES. Same thing for il. We would just take out the ER, put the E. Nu, take out the ER, put in nu. So I mean ONS. Vu, we would just put a Z, and il, elle, we would just put and say. So the parts that I highlight. Same thing for IR verbs. We would just take out the IR in the réussir. So réussir means to succeed. And we would just put in the ending that we have here. So IS, IS, ET, ISS, ONS, ISS, ER or EZ, ESS, and T. So we would just plug in those endings that we have right here. Ventre, same thing for ventre, because ventre means to sell, and it's a RE verb, and it's a regular RE verb. So we would just look at our subject right here, and we could go back and see that the endings for RE verbs for je is S, for tu is S, for il, elle, on, it's nothing, on, nu, it's ONS, vu, it's a Z, and il, elle is NT. So we go back to our example right here, S, S, nothing right here, so rien, on, nu, for it would be vendant, vous, vendez, il, elle, vend. So we would just plug in our endings. Now let's go over an example right here. Really quickly, it is il joue au football depuis 5 ans. He has been playing soccer or football for 5 years. So as we go back to our endings right here, since jouer is an ER verb, and we know we're talking about the subject of il because it's a he, we would take out the ER in jouer and we would plug in with I. So we would say il joue au football depuis 5 ans. Now it's your turn. I want you guys to pause the video and go over this example that I've provided right here. Hopefully you've tried them and try to get them right. So by now I hope that you already tried it. So now let's go over the answers. First of all, it would be Claire mange un bonbon because it's an ER verb, and we know the ending for il ou elle, since it's a she, is E. And so we would just plug that in and take out the ER. For vous voyagez, again, it's ER verb, so we already know for vous the ending is Z. So we would say vous voyagez en train, Claire mange un bonbon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish that, or as I hope you guys go over the slideshow again that I've provided, and just practice more, as you'll get more comfortable with conjugating regular verbs. And see you guys next time.